Hi everyone, it's great that you're joining us today. A special welcome if you're joining us for the first time. You're especially welcome. Good to see you. Today we're thinking about names. Names are really important, aren't they? They help us to identify each other. They give us vital information. If you walk past a shop with the name Burger King, you know that you will be able to buy a burger inside, won't you? And when Isla goes to school and the teacher sees the name Ransley on the register, they will realise, oh yes, sister of Elise, Roman, Nate and Lydia. Names give us vital information. This is especially true of Jesus. Jesus has got lots of names, hasn't he? He has lots of different names because so much of what Jesus does and is so important for us to know. So God tells us through his names. I wonder if you know some already. Can you guess what any of these names for Jesus are? Okay, here come the answers. We've got Messiah, Christ, Lamb and Shepherd. Now, we'll come back to the top two in a moment, but can you link the bottom two? What have Lamb and Shepherd got in common? Well, here's a couple of clues. Do you remember what happened to the lambs at Passover? And what they were for? Do you remember the I am saying of Jesus? I am the good shepherd who lays his life down for the sheep. They both point to his death. Jesus tells his followers that he's going to be put to death in today's Bible reading. But they are not happy about it. So let's join the fictional characters from Superbook, Chris, Joy and Gizmo, as they explore what really happened when Peter answers the question that we've just been thinking about. Who is Jesus? I'll be reading words directly from Mark chapter 8, verses 27 to 33. And what Peter and Jesus say in the video is also recorded there too. Jesus and his disciples went on to the villages around Caesarea Philippi. On the way, he asked them,
"Who do people say I am?"
Oh, no! I love this game!
Well, some say John the Baptist. Some say Elijah.
Others say you are one of the other prophets.
But who do you say I am?
Peter answered,
You are the Messiah.
Don't tell anyone about me.
He then began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer and die.
Okay, now I really don't understand.
The nation's leaders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law of Moses will make the Son of Man suffer terribly. He will be rejected and killed, but 3 days later, he will rise to life.
He spoke plainly about this, and Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him.
Stop talking like this, Jesus.
Get behind me, Satan, for you are not mindful of the things of God, but the things of men.
So, Jesus confirms that he is the Messiah, but they aren't to tell anyone yet. The word Messiah is the same word as Christ, just in another language, by the way. It means God's chosen one. He's God's chosen king. But being the chosen king wouldn't be easy, because he came in order to die. Jesus was going to live a perfect life so that then he could be found innocent and take the punishment that we deserve for our sin on himself instead. Jesus explains what this means for his followers in next week's passage. But for now, I want you to think about this question. Who do you say Jesus is? Who do you say Jesus is? Do you believe Jesus is God's chosen king, like Peter? But here's an even bigger question for you. Are you willing for Jesus to take away all the punishment for the wrong things that you do? The wrong things we do against God? Are you willing for Jesus to deal with that through his death? Because Peter didn't think that Jesus did have to die. Do you? I know Jesus died for me. And because of that, he's my hero. Is he yours?
He healed the sick, he calmed the storm. He saw 5,000, he fed them all. He raised the dead, he cured the blind, drove out the legion, restored a mind. He is the hero that we need, a man with power. He's the Son of God, you know his name. He brought good news, he taught the crowds, lifted the humble, rebuked the proud. He told the truth, he never lied, was always righteous before all eyes. He is the hero that we need, a man of justice. He's the Son of God, and you know his name. Jesus, you're the hero, you're the only one who saves. Jesus, you're the hero, there is power in your name. They saw his life, they heard him speak, they saw the signs but would not believe. They chose to hate, they chose to kill. He was rejected, forgave him still. He is the hero that we need, a man of sorrows. He's the Son of God, you know his name. Jesus, you're the hero, you're the only one who saves. Jesus, you're the hero, there is power in your name. Jesus, you're the hero, you're the only one who saves. Jesus, you're the hero, there is power in your name. When Jesus came to town, they will when Jesus came to town. He is the hero that we need, a man of sorrows. He's the Son of God, and you know his name.
Let's pray together. And if you agree, say Amen with me at the end. Dear God, thank you for sending Jesus. Thank you that he followed your plan for your chosen king, that he died in our place to take the punishment for our sin. Thank you that he was willing to do that for us. Thank you that Jesus has so much love for us that he will be willing to do that. Help us to live as if that's true. Amen. Well, just before we go and join the rest of our church family over on the live stream, Becky has our craft for us. Over to you, Becky.
This is our example for today, thinking about the different names that we can have for Jesus in the shape of a cross. Mike's found some other examples on the internet that you can have a look at, which has lots of other different names on it. And you can have a look at that and see if there's any that you would like to use on yours, because you don't have to use the same ones on yours as I did on mine. In fact, when I made my example, I made my other one and that had different words on it. So you can use whichever words for Jesus that you think are the ones that you like the best. It doesn't matter if you have lots or just a few, whatever you can fit on to make your cross shape.
He healed the sick, he calmed the storm.
So, to make this cross example, first what you will need is one piece of paper and some felt pens or wax crayons or colours or whatever you're allowed to use. Just make sure that if you're doing it on the floor, you're protecting the floor, so don't use felt pens straight onto your carpet. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write the word Messiah, because that is who Peter said Jesus was. So we're writing that right in the middle, nice and big. After that you can choose different colours. You can think about which words you want to write. It doesn't really matter which ones you choose, except for if you've not left much space on these ones, then you want to do some of the shorter ones, and then you can leave some of the longer ones for later.
Jesus, you're the hero, you're the only one who saves. Jesus, you're the hero, there is power in your name.
Doesn't matter if you use the same one twice, it doesn't matter if you use not as many colours as I did, however you want yours to look. Then once you've done the bit across, then we need to turn the paper round, because it's a bit tricky doing the writing the other way. And again, you'll want slightly shorter ones for the top still. It is a bit tricky to get them to fit in the right place. They don't worry if you squish your writing up a bit, or if you have a bit of a gap between where you write it and where the next word ends.
He's the Son of God, you know his name. Jesus, you're the hero, you're the only one who saves. Jesus, you're the hero, there is power in your name. Jesus, you're the hero, you're the only one.
And then on the other bit you can choose to use some of the longer names, or you can use lots of shorter names. Whichever ones you want to use, you can use. Well, you don't have to write it in capitals either. I did it in capitals, but if you want to do it in lowercase, that's absolutely fine, it doesn't matter. Or in different kinds of writing. You might want to do some fancier writing, like in some of the other examples. You can make it exactly as you want to make it.
He is the hero that we need, a man of sorrows. He's the Son of God, and you know know his name.